safely, yes. Right, yeah. That's my final answer. Cooking safely. I'm terrible.
I am a straight donation station in Jupiter.
If you're low on cash, call Sawhead.
Give us a moment at peak. Give us a moment. Right in the middle. What a
Go, squeeze.
Can we just please stop saying this a moment ago?
A Keegan comeback, not to be believed.
Mentally, I'm like 15. Yeah.
Subtle signs that you're playing with a stick.
A bag? You want me to be intimidated by a fucking bag? What's up, dogs? We are back in the studio. It feels great. We're back from Dubai. Amazing trip. It took about 3 years off my life. I think today is the first day I'm feeling somewhat normal. My man Ben Boscovich is back after a 2-show break, and I wanted to ask you, how'd you feel watching Evan in your chair?
Oh, I liked it. You know,
Yeah, I bet you liked it, you cuck.
It was tough because he's a lot more handsome than me. You call me, I'm in the cuck chair.
Yeah, now you're in the cuck chair. No, I bet you liked it. So we have P. Reed on the show today because he won the Hero Dubai Desert Classic. We'll get to that interview in a little bit, but let's start with Super Scottie Scheffler. 20th win in less than 4 years. 20 wins in less than 4 years. He's passed 100 million in earnings. We had Blades Brown. I think that's what we call a coming out party. Not in that way. But he announced himself to the world this week. So it was Blades and Siwoo and Scottie in the final group. It was an amazing final group. I love Siwoo Kim. He's one of my favorites out there. We had him, we've done a bunch of stuff with Siwoo. We've done one hole with, we did an on the bag with Siwoo. He's a hilarious character. I have a ton of respect for Siwoo because he's one of these guys who moved to the States at 17, speaking absolutely no English, and he learned English. And now he's like super funny, writing hilarious captions on Instagram, which we'll get to later in the show. So Siwoo, Blades, and Scottie. Yeah, he wins in sort of a tiger-like way where it's just like, the other guys make mistakes, and he just keeps plodding along. But we got a moment. It was on the 5th hole, so let me set it up. He's in the fairway, 224 to the hole. It's par 5, second shot coming in. There's water all short and right. So he's aiming, middle, left side of the green, and then this.
Oh, you're so soft.
That one going well left, heading towards the collection area.
Hard right. There you go.
And it was just so humanizing because it was like, we've all been there. And that's one of the beautiful things about our sport is I'm not Scottie Scheffler. You're not Scottie Scheffler. None of the people watching are Scottie Scheffler. But every person who is watching the show knows what that feels like. You got water right, and you're thinking to yourself, don't hit it in the water. Don't hit it in the water. Don't hit it in the water. And then right before you get to impact, you just shut the face, and it goes away from the water. I thought that was so humanizing. He then chipped it stiff, and that was a theme all day. So look at the length of Scottie's made birdie putts. He had 9 birdies yesterday. 4 feet 5 inches, 13 inches, 7 inches. 2 feet 1 inches, 10 feet 5 inches, 2 feet 7 inches, 2 feet 2 inches, 4 feet 3 inches, 4 feet 1 inches. That was kind of a tongue twister. I'm honestly proud of myself for getting through that.
Yeah.
But it was like, anytime he got a par 5, he hit it in 2, or he chipped it stiff. When he got a wedge in his hand, he hit it to inside 5 feet. It was absolutely surgical golf. Just so good from Scottie Scheffler. Now he gets a week off, and then it's Phoenix, where he won his first. And I remember when he won his first. It was 2022. I was hustling. I was there for Golf Digest, and I was hustling to finish my story before watching the Super Bowl because it was a playoff, and I think it went into the Super Bowl. And it was like a cute little story. It was like, oh, this guy, he finally won his first. He's been close a lot. He played in the Ryder Cup last year. He finally won his first. Had no clue what was coming.
That's awesome.
No clue what was coming. So
That's what I love about our sport.
Yeah.
It's what we get to experience with watching Blades now, too.
Yeah.
Like, we got a moment to be like, whoa, we're excited about a young guy.
Yeah, he's a new person on everyone's radar. A couple other finishes that I wanted to highlight at the American Express. Jason Day with a T2 to start the year. He's fun to watch. Still, he rolls his rock. And on those greens, like the greens are perfect at the American Express and in Palm Springs, like the carpet. Watching him roll that rock on Sunday was great. Saw at the Gala, tie for 8th. That was his first top 10 in a PGA Tour event since September of 2024.
Oh, wow.
So coming off the wrist or neck, he had a neck injury last year that kind of lingered all year, finished outside the top 100. Remember, he had to play his last, 15 holes in 7 under just to make the cut at the Sony Open. Finished tied for 30th there, tied for 8th, so a good start to the year for Sahith. Will Zalatoris, first tour start since the PGA of last year, finished tied for 18th.
Yeah.
Said he's finally pain-free, so lovely to see. Max Homa tied for 27th. And our guy, Joel Damon, T38 to start the year.
Nice.
And yeah, made the cut. That's a good start. And then he's in the field again this week at the Farmers. So that was about 8,400 miles away from Emirates Golf Club. And I know that because we did the trip. And you were asking me about Dubai.
Yeah, tell me about Dubai. I've heard it described as the Vegas of the Middle East.
It's Vegas without the filth.
Yeah.
But it's Vegas. I mean, like their fastball is luxury, and they throw their fastball.
They throw their fastball.
Like that's what they got. And it starts when you land in the airport. The airport's got like plants everywhere, and you're like, well, this is the nicest mall I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then everything is 6-star. The craziest thing to me was the Uber situation. We didn't wait more than 45 seconds.
Really?
And if you got a black car, it was a Sprinter van. And if you got a regular one, it was a white Lexus. Every time. And you didn't wait a single second. Everyone spoke perfect English.
I think LAX needs to start taking notes from
Dude,
Dubai.
the LAX situation is a malignant tumor on
so
society. Even when you get, this is a LA thing, but you either have to take a shuttle to like off-site to get an Uber X, and then if you want to get a black car, which will pick you up curbside, it takes, I would say, averages like 25 minutes, and it says 9 minutes every time.
And 2x the price.
Yeah, and it says 9 minutes every time, and then the guy just calls you and he's like, they're lying. It's going to be like 30 minutes. So I don't know how they get away with that. Okay, anyways, I'm going to stop complaining about my jet lag from Dubai at some point. So over there, P. Reed started the day on Sunday with a 4-shot lead, and he closed it out. It was a scrappy round of golf. He shot even par. He made a lot of headlines this week. Earlier in the week, our guy Evan Priest wrote a story where he called the PGA Tour the best tour in the world and kind of hinted that if the returning member program was open to major champions starting in 2018 and not 2022, that he would have a pretty significant decision. And then we interviewed him yesterday right after his press conference. In that press conference, he revealed that he's actually not signed yet with LIV for the 2026 season. He said he expects to be in Riyadh, but there's some stuff going on with P. Reed and a potential return to the PGA Tour. I talked to him about that and much more. Here's our interview with Mr. Patrick Reed. Congratulations, dude.
Thanks. Oh man.
When I saw you nipping those bunker shots on Tuesday, I thought I was looking at the future winner of the tournament. I want to start. I know you've always fancied yourself a worldwide player. Like I think you took up membership on the Ben European Tour before all this happened. What does it mean to you to finally get a win in the Rolex Series?
I mean, it means a lot. It was funny because when we won in Dallas on LIV, the win right off the bat means a lot. And good thing is now I can kind of check that off the board of winning out here on DP World Tour as well.
Now you've won absolutely everywhere. Now I saw you said earlier this, and I had a lot of respect for this earlier this week. You said, they asking you about paying the fines, and you said, if I play good golf, that'll take care of itself. So it was worth it to you to pay the fines to play on this tour.
Always. At the end of the day, if you go out and you play how you're supposed to, I mean, the fines will take care of itself, right? I mean, you'll make enough that you can cover, but really for me, it's always been about being a worldwide player and travel to play and to be able to have the opportunity to be on this tour and play out here and to showcase not only my game, but help try to grow the game worldwide has always been a goal of mine and a dream of mine, and I'm not going to allow a couple fines to be what stops me from coming over here and playing on this tour and supporting this tour. Now, obviously, would I like them not to be fined? Would I like them to go away? Of course. But it's one of these things that, hey, I'm going to show support on this tour like I have since day one, and I don't plan on changing.
So, a lot has been written and said about you, but I'm a big believer in treating people how they treat you or treat, people around you. And I gotta bring this up. You gave my co-host Ben and his dad a lifelong memory. We talked about this on the show last year. They came and watched you in the Masters, and they got in touch with you, and you sent them this incredible plaque, and you stayed in touch with my co-host's dad. What brought you to do that?
I was just kind of, I mean, that's the funny thing is that's kind of the person I am anyways. I mean, obviously people just see what I am inside the ropes, but they don't actually, see me outside the ropes. But I mean, anytime someone's out there showing you support and coming out and watch you, it always means a lot to us as players. I mean, no matter who it is, whatever player it is, I mean, it means a lot. And so, to give back and then to, not only just keep in touch, but, give something that might, allow them to have such, remember the memories and things like that. It's important. And so for me, I remember when I got all those some cool memorabilia from people that I got to know other athletes and things like that. I sit back and I'm just like, oh yeah, I remember this day and that. I mean, those kind of things are special, and it's just one of those things that I felt like was the right thing to do. My team and I, so we sent them a little gift, and it's been good.
Really awesome what you did. And I got to, last question here. I got to ask, there were some comments earlier this week about potential coming back to the PGA Tour if that was an option. I like doing these video interviews because when it's a written piece, something can get taken out of context. The human voice has evolved over hundreds of thousands of years to be a highly skilled communicative device. And when you take someone's voice and what they said and you put it in words, sometimes it just doesn't translate. What did you mean to say?
No, I mean, they were asking me a lot of questions about Brooks, obviously. I mean, and if I was disappointed about, the open letter not being, down to 18 rather than 22. And to be honest with you, there's no really discussion after, because you sit there and it's like, hey, well, I mean, I'm not a part of that. So, I don't really have an opportunity. The only opportunity I would have if I wanted to go back to the tour would be play out here and hopefully get in top 10 and get out there. I still technically would have status because of past champion status, but with how things have evolved and stuff, that status does not really get you much.
What it used to be.
No, definitely not. I mean, before it used to get you in every event except maybe like 4 or 5. Now I think you might get in 4 events. But I mean, at the moment, and at that time, I mean, I haven't talked to the team and everything, obviously weighing our options and everything. But I mean, at the moment right now, we're playing next week, Bahrain, and then from there, teeing it up in Riyadh at the live event. But I mean, it's just one of those things that when they asked me if I was happy about Brooks, I obviously was really happy for him. I mean, I know what he was kind of going through with things he was going through at home and how he wanted to be closer to home. And for him to have that opportunity, not only to, I mean, obviously splitting with Liv, I mean, hurt as a player, but for him to have the opportunity to go back and play on the PGA Tour, I'm very happy for him. I mean, obviously it's one of the best tours, especially for him, especially being close to home. He's being able to kind of do both. He's able to play and also be close to home. And so for a player to player, I mean, that's awesome to see that he's able to kind of go out and continue doing what he does, continue playing golf, playing hard. And, it's one of those things that, who knows? At some point, hopefully I can play on every tour and have an opportunity to play everywhere.
Well, if you keep up this form, you're going to be a threat at Augusta. And if you win at Augusta, it's going to be hard to keep you out.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good stuff, man. Congratulations on this week. Hope to see you around soon.
All right. Thanks, man.
He's either an incredible negotiator or he wants to come back really bad. It's one of those two things.
I think it's both.
You think so? Yeah, I mean, it's a win-win, right? He either gets to come back or he gets a bag of cash. I know, I heard at least, I think he wasn't at the Live Media Day because he hasn't signed that contract. That was kind of percolating around the grounds early in the week.
But he told you he plans to be at Riyadh, right?
Yeah.
So that kind of is telling. He's like, I want to be there.
I don't think he said did he say I want to be there? He's like, that's the plan.
He plans to be there.
I think my read on the situation, take it for what it is, it's my read, is that if they gave him a chance to come back, he would come back.
That's my exact read, and I think it's because...
That's your exact P read?
My exact P read, because he's like Charlie Hall. Patrick Reed and Charlie Hall are the two people I've seen most obsessed with golf as professional golfers. He just wants to play golf all the time.
Yeah.
Charlie Hall at Tito's, she wasn't fraternizing with everybody.
No.
She was like, where can I go hit balls?
Locked in.
He's the same kind of guy. I love it.
I really want him back. I actually like Patrick, and I know that that's crazy to say in world golf right now, but I have my own opinions. That's kind of the point. But I know a lot of people don't, and he's a very rich character. When Reed is on a leaderboard, it's like, ooh, there's a dynamic in here, And I think one of the things that Liv did was, especially in that initial wave, they took a lot of the characters away. Mm-hmm. Bubba Watson and Phil Mickelson and Patrick Reed and Ian Poulter and Bryson. They took some of these box office guys.
Yeah.
And whether you love Reed or you don't love Reed, he's box office.
He's a central character in that tension of professional golf.
And he's still a phenomenal player.
He's really good.
And he's fun to watch, man. We did a range report in Dubai when we were there, and I was just sitting watching him hit bunker shots, and I was looking at Matt Henley. I was like, I'm a big nerd, but I could literally sit here all day. He hits these like drawy bunker shots with a closed stance that spin like crazy. Like
his whole short game is just incredible to watch.
Incredible short game.
He obviously bought my fanhood too, but like I would say he bought it with kindness. I don't care actually about the signed Masters
If you
flag.
aren't a Patrick Reed fan, then you specifically, then you are an asshole.
No, yeah.
Like what he did for you is like 1 in a million for professional athletes.
Responding to my father's email alone would have made me a fan for life. But him and Justine going out of the way, like, just a good dude.
Yeah, some other finishes to highlight in Dubai. Christian Mass, who is number 2 in the PGA Tour U, is a senior at Texas. He finished tied for 10th. That is very impressive. We did a Scratch University at Texas last year. Christian was one of the 3 guys we played with. I was really impressed. I was like, this guy is a pro. Really good week for him. Angel Ayora, who has one of my favorite golf swings in the world. We got a little video coming out with him this week. He finished tied for 26. So did Shane Lowry, tied for 26. Rory McIlroy, T33. Irons were not sharp. He talked about this week, you know, obviously he's coming off the year of his life, and he wins the Masters and completes the career Grand Slam, and he wins the Irish Open, and he wins at Pebble Beach, and he wins the Players. And there were all these moments, but he said that he finally had some time to like look at his stats and kind of lock in and see on what he wanted to improve. And he said, you know, he's become one of the best putters on the planet, which we've all noticed. The putting has improved, but the iron play got a little scrappy toward the end of the year. It was scrappy again. Tyrrell Hatton finished tied for 33rd, and then Tommy Fleetwood tied for 41st. Sneaky, not a great start to the year for Tommy. So at the end of last year, he gets to world number 3. You know, he wins the FedEx Cup. He's incredible at the Ryder Cup, but he finished 25th at the Dubai Invitational. It was only like 60 players. And then T41 this week at the Hero Dubai Desert Classic. I want to get your take on this. I do wonder, and people might laugh at me for this. You play the best golf of your career wearing like tight pants and like dry fit tight shirts, and now you're going with the more like the Jason Day baggy look. Strokes gain clothing?
I think there is strokes gain clothing. I mean, the look good, feel good, play good thing is real. It's a cliche.
But he definitely feels better now because he's wearing what he wants to wear.
He just has to get used to it. I also find it hard to hear that because those are both home games for him. You know what I mean? Like
he lives in Dubai.
He lives there.
Yeah.
So
it blows my mind that he lives in Dubai.
Yeah.
It's just
having gone now,
bro. And coming back to the West Coast, he's gonna feel like dick for the first 4 days that he's here, and like I can afford to feel like dick because I just got to talk.
He's got to practice.
He's got to like play, and like he's got to try to beat Scottie. Feeling like I felt like I was going to puke for 72 straight hours. I promised you guys I would stop talking about my Dubai-itis.
That is relevant to this.
It was relevant. All right, let's hop into our favorite segment. Favorite segment, maybe.
Definitely.
The Knockaround, presented by our great friends, our presenting sponsor. Dan on Golf is presented by Knockaround, and so is the Knockaround. I'm really happy. We're about to go West Coast swinging.
That's right.
My wife is coming with me for the first time. The dogs are coming with me for the first time. We're staying in Airbnbs. For the first time in my 8 years of traveling the PGA Tour, I am not staying in soulless Marriotts and watching Love Island by myself, ordering Chinese food every night. So I am very excited. And these feel kind of West Coasty. I think these are the Hates, like the Haight Ashbury. Love and Hates, that's what they're called. We got a promo code for you. If you go to knockaround.com/golf and you use the promo code DanOnGolf20, you get 20% off your first order. The best sunglasses in the game. These are literally as good a quality as sunglasses that are 10 times the price. So go on there, buy yourself 2 or 3 for the price, less than one of the other guys. We love Knockaround, presenting sponsor, our first ever sponsor. We love them very much. All right, on the Korn Ferry Tour, Ian Holt won for the very first time. This was at Abaco in the Bahamas, and our guy Alistair Doherty finished second. So Alistair has had, he's been about as close to a breakthrough as you could possibly be. He finished second to Chris Gotterup on a sponsor invite at the Myrtle Beach Classic when Gotterup won his first. Mm-hmm. Obviously a win on the PGA Tour, even if it's an opposite field event, gets you 2 years. It's a life changer. He finished one shot away from getting his PGA Tour card in 2024 Q School. I remember one of two guys needed to miss like an 8-foot putt on the last hole. They both made it. And he finished second again this week. And Alistair's coming off a pretty harrowing car accident. Let's roll this clip.
Yeah, it was a very scary time. And I'm still dealing with a lot of different emotions with it, and body's starting to come back. But like you said, mentally it's taken a lot. Even last week, mentally, to come back from finishing last place, just to make sure that I was getting the work in and doing anything to possibly get better. But yeah, that car accident was a lot. I'm getting emotional even thinking about it. Just the hard work starting to pay off. Eventually it will, and we take it one day at a time.
So he's a Barstool athlete. He's sponsored by Barstool Golf. The SG on his hat stands for Saturday Game. It's their Saturday game they play at Greyhawk, which is really cool. It's going to feel incredible when he finally gets to the PGA Tour. It's going to happen. I mean,
yeah, like the things that people told me are actually coming true, and I think that's beautiful.
Beautiful. A beautiful sentiment. Maybe a less beautiful sentiment. Tyrrell Hatton's offseason plans. You know, a lot of guys use the offseason to get into the gym. Not so much Tyrrell Hatton. He did a press conference. Ben Parsons, he's a Red. He's a Manchester guy. Met him this week in Dubai. Lovely lad. He said some highlights from Tyrrell Hatton about, by the way, Manchester United, I just got to say. +3. Beat Arsenal, beat Man City, we're back. Okay, no more Man United talk. Some highlights from Tyrrell Hatton about his Christmas break. He said, I was 204 pounds, which at 5'8" is aggressive. I can confirm that is aggressive. I had a Guinness tap in the house, which was enjoyable. So it sounds like it's since been removed. You know, he had the Guinness tap, and now it's gone. And then he said, I was turning like the Titanic. My backswing was shorter than John's. Interesting metaphor. Not really what the Titanic is known for.
No.
You know,
but I'll tell you what, if you put the weight of the Titanic behind a golf ball, you can hit that pretty far.
But there's other ships like there. I remember there was some Italian ship that like washed up on, like on rocks. This was like 5 years ago. I don't know. Maybe it's you don't know what I'm talking about. And that would have been a better. You know, the Titanic is known for sinking. That's what the Titanic is known for.
No, something he kind of felt like he was at 204.
Over there in the Live universe, they had the Live Awards show, which was on FS1, hosted by Henny Zuel. Most valuable player, Joaquin Neiman. Breakout star, David Puig. I think it's Puig or Puig. Comeback player of the year, Bubba Watson. Caddy of the year, Adam Hayes. But what I wanted to highlight was clutch player of the year was Jon Rahm. Didn't win a tournament. Just seems like an interesting choice for clutch player of the year.
What did he clutch?
Yeah. This was an incredible clip. So we think with Ben Griffin, we think of professional golfers as these tacticians who, you know, especially the modern player, they got their TrackMan, they know all their numbers. A lot of these guys are just like athletic freaks. Let's roll this Ben Griffin clip.
Draw is the one where I feel like I really have to. Do I have to turn more? Maybe?
He's got no idea.
The body rotating, not swing quite as much to the left.
Confused me.
This is like the worst range session with like a top 10 player in the world because I don't even know how I draw it. But when I do draw it, it's nice.
It is nice.
It's lit when I draw it.
Sometimes it's a little flippy.
I do know what he's saying,
does not know how to shot shape.
Sometimes it's a little flippy. Sometimes it's a little not.
Yeah, sometimes I get flippy. Draw definitely has to be more forward in the stance.
Nope.
A touch more, so you have time.
I think
to get
most
there.
people would argue though it's
back.
Better if it's back to draw.
Caddy's like, yeah, whatever you say.
Because you gotta, but I feel like you have to flip it if it's further back.
Mm-hmm.
He's got no idea.
That is a field player analysis right there.
But it's like, we all know that feeling though of like, yes, you know, sometimes when you're not expecting the draw and the draw comes, it looks really sick. And you're like, that was nice. I don't know how I did that.
It sounds like Ben Griffin's been scrolling through a lot of Instagram reels of like teachers being like, you know, like Jake Hutt, like being like,
yeah,
you got to dip your head.
Yeah, our last thing in the knockaround, the PGA Tour this morning announced who's going to be on the PAC, which is like the, you know, player advisory council. They opine on matters. Don't know how much say they have now with Brian Roloff kind of just like telling them what to do, which is a good thing, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that in a bad way. Sam Burns, Corey Connors, Harris English, Lucas Glover, Brian Harmon, strong Sea Island contingent, Charlie Hoffman, Max Homa, Hank Laboda, Max McGreevy, Alex Noren, Scottie Scheffler, number one player in the world. Heard of him. Adam Scott. I feel like he's Mr. Pack. I feel like he's always on the pack. Neil Shipley, our guy. We might have some time to interview him later today.
Yeah, let's figure out what that's about.
We'll see if we have time. Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas, Gary Woodland. Pretty good players.
Yeah.
It's a good group. All right. Our next segment. So the first couple tournaments of the year are always really fun because we get to see guys who are wearing new clothes. And we're going to bring on our guy, Raymond Williams, who is our style editor at Scratch. And if you guys don't follow him on golf projects, I don't know what you're doing. He does fantastic content about clothing, about golf stuff. My number one favorite that he does is Not for Golf, which is like all of these like Gore-Tex shoes that are they're designed for hiking, but you can wear them to play golf. And Raymond's the best dressed guy in golf. So Raymond, we're going to talk through the 5 biggest, we'll call them sponsorship moves of the offseason. Run me through your first one.
What's good, y'all? First off, thanks for having me on.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I like a nice hello. Sorry, I should have said hello.
No, let's go. No, a bunch of moves in the industry for sure. And you guys already alluded to a little bit of it, but Tommy Fleetwood, I think
obviously like the player impact program is no longer here anymore, but like how is a great way for these guys to also get a little energy in the space around their name? Tommy is a world number 3. This is like a very rare instance when a top guy in the league doesn't have an apparel or footwear sponsorship. So I think just like as an everyday consumer, what you actually care about what these guys are wearing as opposed to what merchandising teams are trying to sell. Tommy's like the guy right now. So him coming out wearing a bunch of different brands is really interesting.
And also, I think it's exactly what you just said. Like, it shows that how these guys like to dress is not always one-to-one with how their brands like them to dress. Like, because what he showed up wearing is completely different than what Nike had him in. Okay, number 2.
Number 2, Tony Finau. This is a big signing for Jordan Brand. Jordan Brand hadn't had a guy until Harold Varner stepped in. I think it was like 2018, but obviously him being on Live, they didn't have a tour guy. And last summer, I went down to the Grove with Jordan Brand, Jordan's like iconic golf course. They debuted their new apparel and footwear. They had like this driving range with these garage doors. And after they debuted the footwear, these garage doors opened up to the driving range, and they had 3 Jordan Brand athletes out there. Devontae Adams, wide receiver, Joe Hayden, a corner, retired corner in the NFL, and then Dexter Fowler, who was in the MLB.
No golfers.
For years. No golfers. So they had all this new footwear, all this ton of energy, but they didn't have anybody that could actually swing a golf club the right way. Really
we look good in the clothes, but don't put a club in our hands.
Good. They had good energy, but that was like the hole in the gap that they needed to fill. And Tony was the guy. So he had signed with Nike back in 2016. So he was right at 10 years. This is a guy who's been wearing Air Jordan 1 lows for basically since he signed with the brand. So it was an easy step over for Jordan Brand, and they fill that gap there. So what you're seeing here is a bunch of a new apparel design language for the brand that we haven't seen on the course in a long, long time. So this is really interesting for him, but he's got to get playing on Sundays though. He can't be the cut man anymore that he's been these last couple of tournaments.
That's exactly right. A guy who had no issues playing Sundays recently is your third one. Talk to me.
Sam Burns, interesting. He moves from Travis Matthews. He's now with Peter Millar. So this is interesting because Peter Millar's catalog can rival that of Ralph Lauren in some cases, especially when you're talking specifically around golf. And I think like they have a real opportunity to get Sam looking just as good, if not better, than Billy Horschel, one of the better dressed guys on the course. So Peter Millar has been iconic. Again, like I said, really interesting, deep catalog. They've signed a bunch of guys in the industry and whatnot. So, but he is now certainly the face for them at a high level.
Yeah, it feels like a pretty good fit. Like they're like kind of a preppy brand. He's Southern Louisiana boy. This next brand that you're going to highlight, I'm seeing them absolutely everywhere.
Yeah, so Sam also signed with Painter, and then Painter Golf also picked up Minwoo. So you got 2 young bucks playing really well, a lot of young energy. These guys care about social media too, especially Minwoo. But Painter is absolutely on
Can you give me the like 30,000, like where are they based? Like who is it?
So they're based in Beaverton, which is like somewhat of my backyard. It's an interesting backstory. So they are heavily involved in other sports, and then they recently got into golf a few years ago. They brought over Mike Forsey. So he designs all of their footwear. He was the guy who was at Nike with Tiger Woods.
Oh, wow.
He moved to Under Armour, was there for Jordan Spieth. Like, wow. This dude is absolutely dialed. They pulled him out of retirement when they felt like they struck gold with the actual brand in golf. So Jason Day comes along. He actually gets to like add a little bit of spice with Painter. And then Mike Forsey, again, like I said, he's just been dialing in from a balance. Like, I think in the industry, they're balancing the best in terms of comfort and performance too, because obviously these guys wear shoes more than anybody else in any other sport, which is really interesting.
Feet can't hurt if you're playing.
Feet cannot hurt.
You had something to say?
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, Raymond, you get to see pretty much every golf shoe that comes out. Every week you see a new golf shoe. You've been talking a lot about Painter over the past year. Like, what is it about these shoes beyond that, like, comfort and style kind of intersection that you, like, when you put them on, what is the thing that you're like, holy shit, about these shoes?
I mean, you said it, but they are insanely comfortable. And like when I sat down with Mike, something I didn't even think about, but like these guys are in their shoes more than any other athlete across any other sport. So the idea that like comfort is always a talking point, that is important, but you don't realize these guys are practicing in these shoes. They're playing rounds of 18 holes over and over daily. So the idea that they need something that they can actually wear for hours on end and then performs at a high level can't be overstated. And then I think they balance the best when it comes to like these modern classics that you're seeing in like sneaker shoes now. So they perform at a really high level. They're super comfortable, and they just look good too. Which is, again, they check all the right boxes.
All right, this last one, this set the burnerverse on fire because this was a classic, a legend of the game, signing with the disruptor in the golf apparel space. Talk to me, Raymond.
Yeah, Freddie Fitz. Freddie Couples is with Malbon now. So this is super fascinating. Obviously, like you said, when this hit Twitter, it absolutely, or X, whatever we're calling it now, blew up. There is a fine line in the sand. People are not about it, and then there's dudes like me who are all about it. So this definitely fired me up. I sat down with Steven and chat about it because I wanted to like pick his brain. Like, why Fred? Like everybody else, what does this mean for the brand? A few weeks ago, they dropped golf from their handle. It's now just Malbon. Really? They are so much more than Jason Day and Wild Fits on the golf course. Like, their catalog is incredibly rich. They have an entire women's line. They're in performance. Steven said he really, really, really wants to look at racket sports. So they're extending beyond just what we see in the golf universe. But Freddie likes his natural fibers, and they have like that instance in their catalog. So again, he debuted a lot of that stuff on the Champions Tour, but I am so interested in what this dude is going to wear at Augusta. That's all I've been thinking about the second that I saw it go live in social. So I know everybody's like, can't wait to see what JD is wearing on a weekly basis. Fred is like now in that conversation too, which is interesting.
Awesome. That was awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, Raymond. We'll have to have you on again when we break down people's outfits during majors and stuff.
Yeah, anytime, y'all.
Appreciate it. That was cool. What do you think about the Freddie to Malbon?
I think you look at those photos, and if you tell me that he doesn't look at home in those clothes, then you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, they look good. Yeah. It looks good, and it's an interesting move because he's a Champions Tour player. I think he's like 64 years old. He's not, he's obviously in the back nine of his career, probably on the back, couple holes of his career, but still an absolute icon.
They make very leisurely clothes. Like he's living a leisurely life. He's like the king of golf leisure.
He is the king of golf leisure. Yeah, he's the king of vibes. Even though right before we went live, you told me that the word vibes needs to die.
I think it does.
You're not a fan of the word vibes.
Well, just everybody uses it.
Yeah, Gen Z's kind of ruining it.
Doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. All right, we're gonna move into the Dankings.
What are we danking?
We're danking the best courses on tour, non-major division.
Non-major? Cool.
So no majors. Obviously, last week we did the Dankings for my top 15 players in the world. We're going to do it today for my top 10 courses on the PGA Tour, non-major division. My number 10 might surprise some people who are fans of this show because it's TPC Southwind in Memphis. And I have a no Memphis policy, but my no Memphis policy, my issue is not with Memphis or this golf course, which I think is really good. There's a lot of water. Like it's a good test. My issue is with Memphis in the heat of summer. I just don't want to go. It's too hot for me. Number 9 is Eastlake. Really good. Old school. Donald Ross. I like that it's right in the middle of the city. I love what they did with the green complexes with that renovation. I will say, as a tree hugger, resident tree hugger, they took out too many trees for me. But that's why it's number 9 on our list and not higher. Number 8, this one is a kind of back on the tour now after an absence, is Doral. Big, hard. Also, I'm a sucker for golf courses in the city. A really good test for professionals. If you don't like this golf course, if you hate on this golf course, maybe there's an ulterior motive. I'm just gonna say it. Trump Doral. Number 7, Colonial. Again, super old school, very dog-leggy. Nice variety from a lot of the courses that we see on the PGA Tour, and another golf course that's in. I'm learning now that I really like these golf courses in cities. This is in Fort Worth. Number 6, Quail Hollow in Charlotte. Just pure as hell. Like the conditions, and it feels big. And I think part of this is probably the crowds in Charlotte are always awesome. It's a party. That tournament is fantastic. I feel like it's kind of trendy to say that they don't really like this place, like some of the more architecture-focused people. But I'm a big fan of it. Number 5, Harbor Town. Playing this golf course is like going back in time. I got the opportunity to play it over Thanksgiving break. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. There's like no hole where you just stand up with driver and mash it. You got to think your way around there. Trees overhanging all over the place. Really cool area down there in Hilton Head, low country vibes. That's number 5. Number 4, Muirfield Village. Another one that is an amazing test for professionals. I feel like Jack every year feels like they're ripping up some hole. And like sometimes it'll even be during the tournament, like the final group gets to the back 9 and they're already starting construction on the 6th hole, which is a little bit of a show, right? Like you can start tomorrow, but it looks good on TV when they start right away.
I love that.
A great golf course, an incredible finishing hole with that scene behind 18. Number 4 is Muirfield Village. Number 3 is TPC Sawgrass. I love this tournament. It's my favorite tournament to go to. I love the Ponte Vedra Beach area. It is my favorite area in Florida by far. Best, I agree with Ludwig Oberg. Best 3 finishing holes in golf with that par 5 16th, the iconic Island Green 17th, and then beast of an 18th hole. Number 2, Pebble Beach. The best meeting of land and sea. This is a place where when I get to go there, and we're going in a couple weeks, I'm really excited. I literally feel giddy. The stretch between 4 and 10 is golf heaven. It does something for your soul to be on the grounds at Pebble Beach. So that's number 2. Number 1, should be no surprise. We got the course map behind me right here. Riviera, just down the road. It's my paramour. Do you know what that means?
No.
It's like your illicit lover. Yeah, because I'm a member
at Brentwood.
I'm a member at Brentwood Country Club, which is just down the road, and it's same Kikuya, like it looks, but it's not Riviera, and it's my hometown event. I missed it so much last year. I'm really excited.
We played it on your birthday.
We played it on my birthday, which was really special. I'm really excited the tour is back there in a couple weeks, and can't mention Riviera without the Palisades. I'm sure that's going to be a topic of discussion in a couple weeks. So it'll be good to sort of, because, if you drive through the Palisades, nothing's happened. It's still, you could throw a Frisbee across, the bluffs. And
we should tease out, we're going to try to get some funds.
Yeah, we got something cooking that we will release in a couple weeks here to sort of help with the effort. So those are the Dankings. Those are the top 10 courses on the PGA Tour in one man's opinion. Top 2 are in California. I'm a homer. I'm a West Coast swing guy. A lot of people on the internet say, "Oh, Dan, you don't criticize the PGA Tour." If the PGA Tour gets rid of the West Coast swing, we're gonna have an issue.
Things are changing.
We're gonna have an issue. But maybe they move Riviera. There's some murmurs that they might move Riviera to the playoffs, which would be absolutely
that would be electric.
Because the guys do come to LA the 1 month a year where it's cold. Like, it's the weather's shit, and so like they flip if you were to, like, Florida's nicer than LA right now.
Yeah,
Florida's nicer than the West Coast right now, and then then the West Coast is nicer than Florida when they go to Florida. So maybe flipping those two around might work.
If the playoff events were Torrey, Pebble, Riv,
cinema.
That's
box office.
Box office.
Yeah, box office.
Do it, bro.
I hope so. I don't think they're gonna be. I don't think they're gonna get away from Eastlake because of, like, Coca-Cola is like, but. Riviera is not going to leave the schedule. It just might move around. All right, we'll move into Give Me a Winner. Before we bring Rick Gehman on, we're going to talk about our one and done. So we had Patrick Rogers the first week. He finished solo third. This is the splash one and done. $1.25 million in the prize pool, which is absolutely insane.
Wowza.
We had Michael Thorbjornsen. Fell apart. He fell apart on us. He shot 66-65 the first 2 rounds. I was thinking, we might win this
Weekday killer.
I was thinking, I'm retiring. We're not doing Dan on Golf anymore because I'm winning the big prize. Shot fucking 78 at the stadium course. He made an 8 and a 7 on the back 9. Shot 42 on the back, so just not good enough. So we're going to make there's the defer 1 hour.
Defer it.
If you work at Scratch, you know what I'm talking about. So we're back. Our one and done pick for this week for the Farmers Insurance Open at Torrey Pines is Jake Knapp. He finished second in this event in his rookie year. It's a big ballpark. You got to hit a lot of drivers. Jake absolutely smashes the ball. He's a SoCal kid. So our one and done pick for the week is Jake Knapp. All right, let's bring in our guy, Rick Gehman. Rick, this used to be the week where Tiger made his debut. Tiger will not be making his debut, but there are a lot of other, it feels, there's a lot of, like, different tournaments that kind of feel like the start of the golf season. This is one of them. So give me your pick. Who's going to win the tournament?
Yeah, it depends on what level of fan you are. Is when the season starts, and the most casual started in Augusta. But yeah, this is a good one here. So let's go with Cam Young. Speaking of guys who are making their 2026 debut, there's a lot to like about this. Obviously, his final 6 months of 2025 were fantastic. He finally got the win at the Wyndham Championship. He hits it long, he hits it far, but he's not just a one-trick pony. Torrey Pines, especially the South Course, it's going to ask you to hit driver every hole. It's going to ask you to hit an approach shot from 100 to 200, 180 to 220 yards every single time. The fact that he plays it right to left, I think, benefits him here. There's just a lot to like about Cam Young at this golf course, which is just execution, execution, execution. So he's 18-1, Dan. You probably wait a little bit longer. Lines will reset throughout the week. You might be able to snag a 20 on him, but 18-1 was plenty good for me.
You got a top 10 pick for us?
I do. It's Chris Gotterup, fresh off the win in Honolulu, and what's stopping him now? So he lost strokes on approach at the Sony Open and still won. That's a pretty rare feat. There's only a few guys that have done that in the ShotLink era, and that's good and bad news. The bad news is he didn't hit his approach shots very well. The good news is that means the rest of his game is strong enough. And the fact that he has such a built-in floor with the driver, he's going to gain a stroke per round off the tee. It's incredible what he does there. The club head speed translates a lot to interacting through thick rough and advancing your ball and being better than your peers and all that fun stuff, especially around this golf course. So not asking him to win again. Top 10 for Chris Gotterup, 2.8 to 1. So plus 280 for him to finish on the first page of the leaderboard.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some of the chunks that he takes out of the rough this week, because it's juicy rough and he comes down on it like crazy.
Yeah.
All right, give us a top 20 pick.
Yeah, he'll move some sod. I went with Marco Penge, and I will admit, I felt a lot better about
PXG.
this maybe like 2 months ago. Yeah, so let's just get the good out of the way. Won 3 times on the DP World Tour last year. He finished runner-up to Chris Gotterup at the Scottish Open. He's one of the longest drivers on that tour. He's got a ton of speed, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Love his game. He dealt with like a viral illness that pushed back his start of the 2026 season. He wanted to start the Sony, and then he switched to PXG. So we've got these like 2 overarching things that I'm a little bit worried about, but not worried enough because I'm really excited about his game. I'm really excited about the way that he sets up for this place. I've just lowered my expectations down to a top 20, which is plus 230.
It's not necessarily that he switched to PXG. It's just that he switched clubs in general. Like it's just it's strange to me. And we've tried to have him on the show the last couple of weeks. We haven't been able to figure out a time, but it's just you're playing the best golf of your career. You move to America, which is a big move, a new tour, and just a totally new bag of clubs seems like an interesting move. Rick, before I let you go, what do you expect from Brooks this week?
I expect good, not great. If you look back at his last 10 or 12 starts, most of them were pretty bad. He did not play well at the end of Live Golf. He did ramp it up on the DP World Tour after their season ended. He had 2 missed cuts and 2 really strong finishes. He's got to get the putter figured out. He's been hemorrhaging strokes all around the world with that. I think we're going to get good, not great Brooks, but we're going to get to work him into here, Phoenix, Cognizant. I think we're going to learn a lot in the first couple of starts. They're all pretty good spots for him, but I'm tempering expectations for right now.
Just imagine if he wins, though.
It would be sick. And then he goes, and then to go to Phoenix and those like the heroes welcome that he's going to get there, it would be nuts.
Yeah, Rick, we always enjoy having you on the show. Are you going to be out at Torrey?
I will be there definitely Thursday, definitely Friday. Waiting to see about the weekend. I've got to figure out my schedule.
Okay, I'm going to be there tomorrow and Wednesday, so we'll miss each other. But I'll see you on the show next week.
All right, brother. I'll see you then.
Sounds good. All right,
Thanks,
it is a new season, guys, and we are trying new segments. Ben has come up with something that he's calling the dog race. Ben, talk to me about the dog race.
Dog race is where I'm going to feed you 2 scenarios or 2 nouns or 2
options.
items, 2 options, and you, in a subjective manner, are going to choose which you would rather engage in, or if it were you, who would you rather be, or where would you rather be?
So it's sort of like a winner stays on situation.
Winner stays on, yeah.
But it's the dog race.
And for our first one, I thought I would put you in the scenario of taking somebody's bona fides from like the best season they've had, or like the standout seasons in PGA Tour history that we all talk about and remember.
Okay.
So let's just kick it off, and you're going to get this right away. Jordan Spieth 2015 versus Dustin Johnson 2020. And I'm going to feed you some data to remind you about what happened in these years. Obviously, 2015 is Spieth's like historic major season. He becomes America's golf darling. He's mentally bulletproof. He's young. He's rich. He's adored. There's no scar tissue yet. His body is in full form. 2020, Dustin Johnson, of course, is the FedEx Cup runaway. He wins his Masters. Both these guys win the Masters in these years. Effortless dominance. It's pre-live narrative. It's peak earnings before peak earnings.
Yes.
Who you taking, 2015 Spieth or 2020 DJ?
2015 Spieth, because Dustin Johnson's Masters has an asterisk.
Ah, okay.
Because it was in November, and that was just not how Augusta. I remember like walking around that week, and even the Augusta members were like, "This isn't what we want to see." I mean, they had to do it. It was a hopefully once in our lifetime situation with COVID. But playing in November, the golf course was soft. He broke all the records that week. Cameron Smith was also the first that week to shoot all 4 rounds in the 60s at the Masters. It's just like all those records fell, and they have a big asterisk. So I'm going with 2015.
That's a tough Masters to think about because we all needed it really bad.
Yeah.
And like, I'm so happy it happened in November, but now we get to analyze it that way.
Yeah.
All right. So you got DJ in 2020, or you got Spieth in 2015 staying. How are you going to take him against Phil Mickelson in 21? So this is a big year of redemption for Phil. He becomes the oldest major champion. The public redemption wave. This is pre-leather jacket Phil. His financial freedom is more secured than he even realized at this point, and he's still relevant competitively.
2015 Spieth.
Okay.
Because I remember that when he won in Kiowa, it was the most random win. I remember, I do the field rankings for all these majors, or I used to, and I'm like, do I have to do them still?
Yeah, I would love you to.
All right.
People like them.
They take a long time.
It's worth it.
I'll do them. I remember putting him like way at the bottom, and I remember writing like, you actually could not draw up a worse course fit than Phil Mickelson at Kiowa. And I remember he played good the first round. I'm like, well, he's going to shoot 80 on Friday. And then on the second round, I'm like, well, he's going to shoot 80 on Saturday. And then he's playing in the final round with Brooks, and this is peak Brooks. And I'm like, he's definitely going to shoot 80. And then he holds a bunker shot. I think it was like the third hole. And I was like, holy shit. And that is the thing with the all-time greats, man. Especially with a player who's kind of handsy like Phil. Like, he can time it. And for one, he was hitting it past like 20 past Brooks that week. He was mashing the ball. So I remember that scene at Kiowa. That was kind of the first like big crowd after COVID. I remember Paul Casey was on the green. I remember John Rahm was on the green after. It was one of those moments where it's rare if your name's not Ricky Fowler for a guy to be hanging out to watch a scene. And I remember like Paul Casey and John Rahm both had their phones out. I remember Phil like they lost contain.
Yeah.
There was like a little period of time where the security at majors were kind of losing contain, and like everyone was walking and Phil's walking in front of everybody. It was an amazing scene. So that was an incredible win, but 2015 Spieth.
I didn't realize that the phone situation. I do remember that hole out from the bunker and that being like a banner moment in my golf watching career. Like that's a stand up off the couch. Holy shit.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Shot. All right, so we're sticking with 2015 Spieth. Let's go with a little bit more of like a 1-to-1, I think, here is in 2019 Brooks Koepka. These guys are probably the best seasons of each of these guys' careers, I would guess. And, he's a major assassin this year. He's got a short schedule with huge results. His swagger is fully validated. He sparked the Bryson feud, and he started winning that feud this year. And his body was still cooperating, obviously.
Yeah, it was peak Brooks. I'm still going with Spieth, man. That 2015 was just magic. We've said box office a lot. It was so box office. He wins the first two majors of the year, and then he lost in a playoff in the third major of the year at St. Andrews. I remember it was Zach Johnson and Mark Leishman, and that was the one that Zach Johnson won. And then I think he finished second in the PGA.
He did.
To Jason Day.
He did.
So he went win-win. T2 in the majors. It's a really tough year to beat. I'm still sticking with 2015 Spieth.
Okay, this might be a tough one to beat.
It is going to be a tough one to beat.
I have a feeling that the next one's not going to top 2015 Spieth, but 2013 Adam Scott was a really beautiful year for a man we love a lot.
Yeah, no, it was an amazing win. Yelling "Come on, Aussie" after he made the putt is kind of he looks young there.
Yeah.
Wow.
13 years ago.
Yeah, no, it was a long time ago, but I just haven't seen that picture in a long time. He looks a lot younger. I mean, he still looks great. He's aging like
Come on, Aussie.
He's aging like a French Bordeaux, but yelling "Come on, Aussie" after making the putt is like an out of body experience. I remember it was the pouring rain. My enduring memory from that Masters though is actually not that. So he makes a putt on 18 in regulation. He ends up winning in a playoff. He makes a putt on 18 in regulation, and like the crowd's already celebrating. Little did they know that Mr. Angel Cabrera was still sitting in the 18th fairway, and it's pouring rain.
The real major assassin.
The real major assassin. I don't like saying assassin with Angel Cabrera because of
he didn't kill anybody.
We're getting into some hot water here, but he's in the fairway, and I remember Angel does not really speak English. He had to back off his ball and say "quiet, please" to the flag, to the I don't know why I say flag, to the fans because they were making so much noise. Then he hits this 9-iron and he goes "vuele, vuele," which means fly, fly, and it goes to like 3 feet. It was gangster. And then they go into the playoff and Adam Scott makes that putt. But I'm still sticking with 2015 Spieth.
I think that's fair. All right, the man who pretty much, one of the two people who stopped Spieth from a calendar Grand Slam, 2015, Jason Day. This is his world #1 year. It's where he gets major breakthrough relief with the PGA Championship. He won 5 times that year on the tour.
Yeah, it was a great year for Jay Day. That was kind of amazing that he hasn't won another major since then. But that was Spieth's year. I'm sticking with Spieth.
All right, we'll rewind it a little bit.
I'm waiting for Scottie. It's coming.
1 year to 2014, Mr. Ricky Fowler, who had an incredible majors run.
Yeah, top 5 in all of them.
Top 5 in all of them. First guy since Tiger and Jack to do that in a calendar year. Cultural relevance, sponsor love. He somehow became a style icon despite
with
looking
all
like
orange.
A neon ping pong ball, Supreme. And yeah, this pressure was still kind of abstract. He kind of had everything ahead of him at that point.
Yeah, this is Spieth 47. No, that's a weird football number. This is Spieth 49-3.
49.
Yeah, it's a blowout.
Okay. All right, now it's going to get tough for you because we're going to go into the recent future and then we're going to look ahead a little bit. So obviously Scottie's 2024, I think rivals Spieth in 2015. We talked a lot about this. It was dominant. He was unflappable. His financial peak, his street cred was secured after beating the charges.
Yes.
And his son was born this year.
Yeah, it's 2024, Scottie, and the reason I'm going with this is it's sort of 2024 into 2025, Scottie, and that's been the difference between all of this. All these runs we've talked about, they lasted a year, 18 months, maybe 2 years.
This one's still going.
It's still going. I mean, we saw it this week, and you're right. I forgot about he became a cultural icon. I'll never forget that morning waking up and seeing a text to Jeff Darlington's tweet that said Scottie Scheffler has been arrested, and it was like 7 a.m. And this was when people were sending around that meme of the guy with like the huge hog.
Yeah.
And you would click on a link, and I literally thought I was going to see this like 14-inch hog, and it was real. And then I remember him getting back there. I remember there was a rain delay, which like allowed him to kind of make his tee time. I remember he was on the driving range. It was like a surreal scene. And then I have not seen. Maybe since Rory at Augusta last year, I've not seen a crowd get behind a player like the crowd got behind Scottie on that day in 2024 in Louisville, Kentucky.
That's like a peak cool sports moment of those fans behind him that day. Like that's like a ESPN commercial. Like, this is why we love sports kind of thing.
Yeah, it was, and I think he like almost hooped a wedge shot on the first hole.
Yeah.
It was something else. So I'm going.
His proximity to the hole this week was average was like 1 foot.
Yeah, he made one putt outside 5 feet.
That's crazy
for birdie.
All right, we got 2 guys now, and we're gonna look ahead. And I want you to put yourself in the position. That's the point of this game, right? Like, would you rather be 2024 Scottie Scheffler in his body, or would you rather be Brooks Koepka right now, looking ahead at a redemption tour? You're rich as hell. You just made money in the bank. You got 5 majors in the bank. There's no pressure. Everything's gravy from here. You're about to get a hero's welcome back to your dream job.
Yeah. I'm sticking with Scottie. Brooks has a lot to prove. I think this would be a more interesting conversation if he was coming back with his 2020 form. Like, he's, as Rick alluded to, he played pretty shit the last year. He's not the player, or at least he hasn't proven to be the player the last couple of years. There is obviously potential for a massive story this year if he can get back to form on the PGA Tour. But Scottie Scheffler is alone at the top in our game, and I feel good that he is the winner of the first dog race.
There's one more.
Okay. He's still going to be the winner.
And yes, Scottie Scheffler is at the top of our game, but we need to think about more than the game here. We need to think about life. Would you rather be 2024 Scottie Scheffler at the top of his golf game, or would you rather be Bryson DeChambeau in 2026 with more leverage over the richest government in the world than anybody has ever had? Brooks is not bullying you anymore. You are on Golf YouTube's Mount Rushmore, and you have generational wealth, but you might be the whole generation. You're a single guy, no kids, and with generational wealth.
You're saying that like it's a positive. I love my wife. And
I love my wife too.
Life is about more than money, Ben. Life's about more than money, and it's about more than views. We're purists on the show. We're about competition. I'm sticking with 2024 Scottie Scheffler.
Okay.
He is the winner. I thought you were going to maybe throw in like 2001 Tiger Woods or 2000 Tiger Woods, and it was going to be
2000 Tiger Woods would have been it would have negated everything. So I should have said at the top. I started after 2000.
Yeah. No, I'm sticking with Scottie. It feels, he won the tournament this week. It feels good that he's the first dog race winner.
I think it holds up because of the way we talk about that year and how it has continued. Like, he's the one to beat. Who's gonna have a better season? He is the one to beat. Let's see if someone can do it. All right. Thanks, Dan.
We got to thank Zone Nicotine. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical, underage sale prohibited. I got to say, nothing compares to the intensity and excitement of a big putt on 18, just like nothing compares to the intensity and flavor of Zone nicotine pouches available in strengths of 6 milligrams and 9 milligrams. Speaking of excitement, Zone will be unveiling a brand new flavor soon, so stay tuned. All I can say, the intensity and flavor are about to get spicier. If you want Zone pouches at a discount mailed right to your door, get 20% off at nicokick.com/zone. That is NICOKICK.com/zone. When you use promo code DanOnGolf20, you get 20% off. Thanks again to Zone nicotine pouches for all their support in our new season. All right. Our dog of the week, Ben.
Sir?
A couple weeks ago, you asked me about the Bechtel test.
Yeah.
I was unfamiliar. I'm going to ask you.
Every day's a school day.
I'm going to ask you if you're familiar with the concept of a nominative determinism.
Oh, God. Does that have something to do with, like, manifestation?
Kind
Sounds
of.
like heady.
Kind of.
I don't know what that is.
I Googled this. This is straight from Google. Nominative determinism is the theory that people are subconsciously drawn to careers, hobbies, or interests that align with their names, leading to seemingly fitting names and professions like a meteorologist named Amy Freeze or a baker named John Bread, often explained by implicit egotism, which is attraction to self-resembling things, or simply coincidence. Why do I bring up nominative determinism?
I think I know.
Because of Blades Brown.
That's right.
Our dog of the week is Blades Brown. Now, that is nominative determinism. So this kid was born to play golf with that name. And we said on last week's show, we're not big Blades guys on this show. I'm not a Blades guy. But I said, unless you're a tour pro, this kid is a tour pro. So he's 18 years old. Last week, he plays 72 holes in the Bahamas from Sunday to Wednesday. They had a Sunday to Wednesday tournament. He finished tied for 17th. He had a coupon to fly private from Myrtle Beach because One Flight was the sponsor of Myrtle Beach. He saved it for this. And I got to say, before we talk about his golf, how about that restraint from an 18-year-old kid? If I'm 18 years old and I get 5 hours free on a private jet, we're going to Vegas. Actually, you can't really do shit in Vegas at 18. We're going to like Puerto Rico.
Go to Dubai.
Yeah. Well, 5 hours is not going to get you to Dubai, I'll tell you that much.
I don't know how fast.
So he gets to Palm Springs Wednesday night. No practice round. He shoots 67 in the first round. Then he shoots 60 on Friday. And that was despite missing 2 makeable putts on 17 and especially on 18. He had like a
shot like 59.9.
Yeah. And then on Saturday, he finished with 3 straight birdies to get in the final group with Scottie Scheffler. And yeah, Sunday didn't go his way. He finished tied for 18th. But this is the start of a long, long career. And what I liked about this so much was he was having fun with it. We have this clip of he was playing rock, paper, scissors with guys in the crowd, like a kid in the crowd that he just kind of stumbled upon and was like, oh, let's play rock, paper, scissors. That's aura.
This is on 17, too. Like, he's wrapping up his round on moving day.
Yeah, and he was in the middle of making a bunch of birdies. He just seemed really comfortable in the moment. And then, you know, obviously he was disappointed with how Sunday went, but we have a clip of his interview on Sunday talking about just the experience that he had. Let's roll that clip.
So much to take away from this week. I mean, getting to play with Scottie Scheffler in a final group at 18 years old is I had to pinch myself a couple of times just to make sure I was you know, this was real. But yeah, I mean, you know, not the Sunday that I would have liked, but I overall had so much fun playing in the American Express this week.
So this kid skipped college, which that's going to raise eyebrows. Like Akshay Bhatia did it because of how advanced and how incredible the college game is now. Anytime a kid decides, oh, I'm actually going to go pro, like that's going to raise some eyebrows. College coaches are going to have their say. He's already made $150K on the Korn Ferry Tour and $199K now on the PGA Tour, plus all that Callaway money and all the sponsorship money. The kid bet on himself, and it's paying off. A unique golf swing. You know, a lot of these guys, I feel like the young kids, they like swing with all this kind of side bend and almost a swing that looks like, oh, is that really going to hold up? His is different.
He's got like a 2-piece.
It's almost like a Bryson kind of move where like you don't really know where the speed comes from, but there's a lot of speed. I think his golf swing is going to hold up throughout the years. We're going to see a ton of this kid. He is our dog of the week. All right, let's move into Chirps. Incredible week on the Chirps
Big week
front.
for Chirps. Yeah.
So we had a clip of where I said that I think we might have a new Stinger King with Chris Gotterup, and the internet commented, and they never disappoint. They don't want to call him Chris Gotterup anymore. They want to call him Christopher Keeper Down.
Gotta keep her down.
Chris Gotterup, more like Christopher Keeper Down because he keeps the ball down. A great Ricky Fowler tweet is our next chirp of the week. This is from Tom and Marty's, who's very funny.
Yeah.
On the X machine. People who still bet on Ricky Fowler to win golf tournaments are the same people who go to their 10-year high school reunion hoping to get laid by the girl who gave them a hand job under the bleachers in their junior year.
I think those odds are pretty good of you getting a hand job from the. Yeah. It's more like the guy that goes back who never got laid in high school and was expecting to fuck the prom queen.
Yeah, I mean, listen. One of my favorite quotes from The Weeknd, who's a modern scholar. If I hit it once, I could probably hit it twice.
Abel Tessman.
We're getting dicey here. Another great nickname. So Tommy Fleetwood is wearing new clothes this year.
Yeah.
And they got another nickname for him. Let's put this one up. Tommy Pleatwood.
Tommy Pleatwood. That's good.
That's good. So we got two nicknames now. We got Christopher Keeper Down and Tommy Pleatwood. Our next one, you submitted this one actually. Drivers to be afraid of. Any Nissan in any context, you know it's not good news. A white Dodge Ram, multiple DUIs, and maybe, you know, not allowed within 100 yards of a school.
Yeah.
An old woman in a Subaru, you know, they're safety first, probably driving 10 miles an hour
That's right.
under the speed limit. A Crown Vic, which those don't even exist anymore, so that person probably has dementia or they're a cop or both. And then Nick Dunlap. Nick Dunlap is having some driver struggles. And the Tourcast illustrates those driver struggles. You used to be able to kind of hit your drive, like if you had driver problems, you kind of just like struggle in silence. Now the Tourcast, you can't hide.
You hate to see the drive end up in the unlit part of the Tourcast.
Yeah,
That's like shadowy.
Anytime it says unknown, it's not a good situation. Brian Rolap obviously decided on the returning member program, and Golf Guy thinks that Brian, you know, maybe there's an alternate reality where Brian Rollup just confirmed reinstatement eligibility will include major champions since 2022, as well as the Hero Dubai Desert Classic champion since 2026. There was a guy following Scottie in a Darth Vader
for the second year. I think that he was there last year.
Is that
too.
right?
Yeah.
I kind of feel bad because he wants the attention and we're giving it to him.
We're giving it to him.
But this was a funny tweet. Next one, the trophy that Patrick Reed had is just massive.
No water, no inclusions in that.
And Sledge asked, do you have anything larger than a Trenta? What's a Trenta? I didn't know what that is.
It's a 30-ounce Starbucks. It's a reference to the Starbucks meme that he does.
I didn't know that one. Next one, Ted Scott. This guy is just the richest caddy in the history of rich caddies. Monday Q info. Ted Scott going to be able to use his top 50 and all-time money list exemption and have full status next season. I'd be opposed to that too. Just like I was opposed to Vijay Singh. And let me tell you something. If he finished T40 in the Sony Open, I'd still be opposed to it. And then our last one, we've talked about how much we love Siwoo. And we had a clip of Siwoo talking about, that we reposted, where he said when he played with Scottie last year and Scottie broke the record for 72-hole score, and he said it was incredible. It was like everything right at the pin. He said, I feel like I'm not even on the PGA Tour. I feel so
poor.
He tweeted on Instagram post yesterday, tie for 6, another hurt Sunday, but a lot of positive things. Congrats, Scottie Scheffler, your 20th win. You're better than AI, Siri, ChatGPT. I love that he combined all of those. Saying that Scottie Scheffler is better than Siri is absolutely phenomenal.
The AI community is shaking this morning.
Yeah. Oh, we got a chirp. That's news. Wow. We got live news. For the first time in 20 years, the PGA Tour will broadcast live on ESPN. Future group coverage of Brooks Koepka, Max Homa, and Ludwig Oberg will be shown on ESPN's main network on Thursday and Friday. Other groups to be included in the feature coverage will be Harris English, Sander Schauffele, and JJ Spawn, Jason Day, Justin Rose, Hideki Matsuyama, Keegan Bradley, Adam Scott, Chris Goddard. We like that clap.
That's great. I like ESPN's golf.
I like ESPN. It's a seminal part of my childhood, and we like to see golf get more exposure.
Get some SVP.
Get some. Yeah, I wonder who's going to be on the call for that, but it just shows that there's a lot of interest in Brooks coming back. I love when we have news stuff that comes on the show, and cool. Andy comes in my ear and tells me, and then we read it live on the show. What a great show today.
Yeah.
What a great show today.
It's great to be back.
It's great to be back. We're going to leave you with our clip of the week. Golf is just bigger than ever, and the San Francisco 49ers are all in on it now that they have all the time in the world because they're out of the playoffs. We will see you guys back in the studio on Wednesday. For now. Sorry. Our apologies to Neil Shipley. We ran out of time again today. Hopefully, we'll be able to rectify that situation in the future. I'll leave you with our clip of the week. We'll see all of you sickos on Wednesday.
Cabo golf. Am I aimed right? You like it?
Perfect. There we go.
Beauty.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, buddy. Are we on the green? Oh, we're on the green. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. At the pin.
Is that going to make it?
Oh, yeah.
Holy cow, George.